WrestleMania 41 is this week! I am super excited. As a wrestling fan, this is the best time of the year. WrestleMania, if you didn't know, is the biggest wrestling show of the year and features must-see matches. We have a bunch of great matches, and I thought it'd be fun to predict who I thought would be the winners and losers. And we're gonna make a follow-up video after WrestleMania to see if I was right. With all that said, I'm Rocko from Remlore, and let's dive in. By the way, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We upload videos just like this one on our Remlore channel. We upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 3 p.m., so make sure you're subscribed with that bell pressed to get notified when we upload. I've mentioned I'm a wrestling fan before, and I did make a video on the subject, but it didn't get a ton of views, so I decided to lay off it a little bit. I will be continuing that series though later down the line, hopefully. But for now, let's go through the WrestleMania card. First off, we're gonna go over the card on WrestleMania Saturday. It's a two-night event, so there's a Saturday and a Sunday card. The first match is Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this one is pretty obvious. Jey Uso needs to win. He is so popular right now. He is the most over guy in the company, and he needs to win the World Championship at the biggest show of the year. There is no ifs and or buts. He needs to win. I also want to defend him, saying he's a great wrestler and I really like him. There's so many people online saying, oh, this match is gonna suck. Jey Uso is not a great wrestler. And I say screw them. They don't know what they're talking about. I like Jey Uso. Everybody else likes Jey Uso. He needs to win. Our next match is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Now, normally when you turn heel, you need to win big matches, so maybe Naomi should win. But on the other hand, this is WrestleMania, the feel-good show, and Jade Cargill needs to get her revenge. So I think Jade is going to come out on top on this one. Next up is the War Raiders taking on the New Day for the World Tag Team titles. Another easy one, the New Day have to win. They had the best heel turn ever when they turned on their best friend Big E, and we need to capitalize on that right now. We have kind of lost steam a little bit with their heel turn, but if they win the world titles at WrestleMania, we can course correct and really build on them. Turn them into main event players. So yeah, New Day need to win. Our next match is Rey Mysterio taking on El Grande Americano, or Chad Gable wearing a mask. Now here's what I think is going to happen. I think El Grande is actually going to win. I think WWE want to extend this feud to Backlash or the next pay-per-view, and there they can do a mask versus mask match where El Grande can be unmasked to reveal Chad Gable. So yeah, for this, I think newcomer El Grande Americano is going over. Next up, we have LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Hear me out on this one, but I think LA Knight is going to retain. Now this is coming from the biggest Jacob Fatu fan, but I think LA Knight is retaining for this reason. Because this is the night where Solo turns on his enforcer. Imagine this, the ref gets knocked down and Solo Sikoa gets in the ring to hit LA Knight with the spike, but he accidentally hits Jacob and LA Knight capitalizes, retaining his title. After that, Solo tries to play it off like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you, before spiking Jacob again to reveal, haha, I did mean to screw you over. That way we can protect LA Knight and Jacob Fatu and build a feud for Jacob Fatu going out of WrestleMania. Next up is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. Originally, when this was confirmed, I thought Charlotte Flair was going to win. Hear me out, Charlotte Flair makes her big heel comeback, takes the title away from Tiffany, and just goes on a dominant run throughout the year until Tiffany builds her way back up and wins her title back, thus turning her into an even bigger star. But I think plans are going to change. They've had a lack of chemistry in the ring, plus they've had a lot of work, shoot, work promos where they go off script, and I think they actually hate each other backstage. Because of that, I think WWE should just change their plans, have Tiffy win, and have both of them just move on from this. So yeah, I think Tiffany Stratton is going to retain, but if they do work out the issues, I could see where Charlotte would win. But I'm still sticking with Tiffany. And then we get to the main event of WrestleMania Saturday. Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins taking on CM Punk. For the whole WrestleMania show, this match is probably the hardest to call because you can see any of these guys winning. So I'm going to pick the person I think winning would lead to a more interesting story. I'm gonna throw out Roman winning because even though it is possible, it's probably the most boring option. Because yeah, Paul Heyman chooses to stay with his tribal chief and Roman just wins. That's fine, it's just kind of boring and not the most interesting. I could see where Seth Rollins comes out on top, and hear me out on this one. Paul Heyman decides not to go with his best friend Punk or his tribal chief Roman Reigns, and instead decides to team up with Seth Rollins, both of them turning mega heel and getting the win. After that, Seth Rollins can become the biggest heel in the company and take on the biggest babyface Jey Uso for the world title. Now while that could happen, what I actually think is going to happen is CM Punk is going to win. Why? Well, spoilers for later down the video, I think John Cena is going to win the WWE Championship, and we can reignite their feud from 2011. Yes, have CM Punk get the big win at WrestleMania, have John Cena get the big win at WrestleMania, and have these two fight at Money in the Bank and SummerSlam for the WWE Championship just like they did back in the day. It'd be be the perfect way to cap off John Cena and CM Punk's best feuds ever. So with that said, CM Punk might want to get the win here. So I'm going with CM Punk, but really any of these guys could win and I'd be okay with it. Before we get to WrestleMania Sunday, there is a match missing, and one that really should be on WrestleMania. If you've been watching SmackDown, the tag team division there have been feuding and hating each other and going to war with each other, and it all seems like it was building towards a six-man ladder match at WrestleMania. Just like last year where they had a tag team ladder match, and it was awesome. But apparently we're not doing that, instead having the Street Profits fight the Motor City Machine Guns on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. Now this may change. We still have one Raw and one SmackDown before WrestleMania, so we could add a match at the last minute, but I don't know. And if we don't, it's a big missed opportunity. The tag teams deserve to be showcased at WrestleMania. Otherwise, all that buildup was for nothing. Okay, the first match of WrestleMania Sunday. We have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champion, and Bayley for the women's tag team titles. Okay, we need to talk about this because this seems like a very last-minute match added to WrestleMania to keep Liv Morgan on the card. Liv was beefing with Alexa Bliss in the build-up to this, but Alexa just suddenly disappeared. Now this is probably because she's going to reunite with the Wyatt Six on the Raw after WrestleMania, who have been missing for some time, and I desperately want them to come back. They're my favorite wrestling group. So hopefully I see them soon, and as for this match, it's pretty obvious. Liv and Raquel are going to retain. They need a big WrestleMania win after having a great 2024 to cap off the year. Plus, Liv needs to bounce back as a major star after losing to Rhea Ripley. So it's pretty obvious, and I don't think it's going to happen on this show, but later down the line, Bayley is going to turn heel on Lyra and feud for the Intercontinental title and probably win it from her. Next up is Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight match. Either guy could win this match, but I think it's going to be Priest. I'll admit both guys need a big win after losing so much in 2024, but Priest needs it more than Drew McIntyre. Because it's Drew McIntyre, he can come out on Raw or SmackDown the next night and I'd forget about his loss. Plus, after WrestleMania, Drew can take out all of his frustration on Cody Rhodes, distracting him from John Cena, so these two can feud for a little bit. But yeah, Damian Priest is coming out on top. Next up, we have Braun Breaker taking on Dominic Mysterio, taking on Finn Balor, taking on Penta, my new favorite, for the Intercontinental title. I think Dominic Mysterio is finally going to have his WrestleMania moment and win the Intercontinental Championship. The long and short of it is, just like how he portrayed his father Rey Mysterio and his girlfriend Rhea Ripley, I think he's going to turn on his mentor Finn Balor to win the Intercontinental Championship by pinning him. And after that, he takes over as the leader of the Judgment Day, turning mega heel. And I didn't think he can turn even more heel, but he can. It puts a rocket on Dominic Mysterio, and it protects Braun Breaker and Penta and makes sure they can feud for a little bit, because they'll probably be so angry with each other, like, you screwed me over and you screwed me over. They can move away from Dom for a little bit. I could also see an alternate reality where Braun just wins, and while that's fine, it's just a little boring, and I feel like we could really do something with Dominic here. So I'm sticking with Dominic Mysterio, the biggest heel in the company. Next up is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. AJ wins, move on. Before we get to our women's and men's main events, we do need to talk about what's going on with Randy Orton. If you have been following the shows, Randy Orton was going to have a match with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, but Kevin Owens had a neck injury and needed to go have surgery immediately. So now Randy doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, but WWE is definitely going to give him one. So who's it going to be with? My first choice is going to be Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager. If you didn't know, before he joined WWE as the general manager, he was a heel wrestler working for the NWA, and he was really good. He had a bunch of classic matches with Cody Rhodes, for example. And his encounter with Randy Orton last week cemented it, because he was just getting showered with boos while Randy was getting cheered like a hero. So we should absolutely have Nick Aldis in a wrestling match against Randy Orton, and Nick Aldis honestly deserves it. If that's what's going to happen, Randy Orton's going to hit the RKO and win. There's also the possibility that he could fight Solo Sikoa, because Solo doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, and what I think is going to happen, if that's what they're going with, is Nick Aldis is going to screw over Randy Orton, and Solo could win, building the Randy Orton-Nick Aldis feud. It protects Randy, builds their feud, and gives Solo a big win at WrestleMania, and he honestly deserves it. He had a great 2024. And just like Liv Morgan, he needs to bounce back after losing to Roman Reigns. There's also the small possibility that he's fighting Aleister Black, who's going to return to the company soon. If Aleister Black is coming back, I think the same thing with Solo Sikoa. He's going to win with Nick Aldis' help. And no matter what happens, what I think is going to happen is, at Backlash, which is happening in St. Louis, Randy Orton is going to take on John Cena for the WWE WWE title, and Nick Aldis is going to screw him over again. So that's where I'm at. If Randy's fighting Nick Aldis, I think Randy's going to win, but if he's fighting Solo or Aleister Black, I think Nick Aldis is going to help them win. The women's triple threat is next. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the Women's World Championship. Based on the story we've been telling with Naomi and Jade and the fact that Bianca has been getting booed constantly, I think Bianca is going to win the world title with Naomi's help. Yep, I think Naomi's going to help her win, and when they get in the ring, they're going to embrace and hug and reveal, haha, we attacked Jade Cargill together, and we are actually bad guys now. This needs to happen. Bianca has been in desperate need for a refresh, and this is the perfect way to do it. Plus, Naomi has been doing great with this heel stuff, and Bianca can really shine in this as well. And they can have classic feuds with Io, Rhea, and Jade Cargill in the meantime. And I think it's going to build to Rhea getting her title back by beating Bianca Belair. Our WrestleMania main event is next, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I've been thinking the same thing since John Cena won the Elimination Chamber and turned heel. I think John Cena is going to win the WWE Championship here. I think The Rock is going to come down, screw over Cody Rhodes, and John Cena is going to win the championship. From there, John Cena will just go on the run trying to keep everyone away from his title. He's going to defeat everyone, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, on his way to leaving with the WWE Championship. We can even retell that story from 2011 with CM Punk and John Cena, where John Cena can be like, haha, this time I'm leaving with the WWE Championship. But before all that, Cody Rhodes makes his way back up the ladder and challenges John Cena again at the end of the year and wins back the WWE Championship before John Cena leaves. That'd be the perfect way to build up Cody as an even bigger star, because there's always this argument in wrestling. Does he become a bigger star if he's chasing the championship or having the championship? And in this case, Cody chasing the championship definitely builds him up. Now, I know WrestleMania is typically the feel-good WrestleMania show, but sometimes you need to crush people's hopes and dreams to build them back up again. I mean, look at how well Avengers Infinity War did when they crushed everyone's hopes and dreams at the end of that movie to build to the next movie. So those are my WrestleMania 41 predictions. Let me know in the comments down below who you think is going to win. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.